hungry for a win.
These people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together, they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. They are the Eggheads. You hungry today?
Oh, starving, ravenous.
Challenging our resident quiz champions today are the Rope Walkers. Now, this team all met while studying at Nottingham University, where they used to take part in the quiz at their local pub called, guess what? The Rope Walk. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Tom, and I'm an investment analyst.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm a law student.
Hi, I'm Peter, and I'm a commercial analyst.
Hi, I'm Fergus, and I'm a trainee solicitor.
Hi, I'm Will, and I'm a management consultant.
So, Tom and team, welcome. Good to see you. So, Nottingham you were at when you were students, is that right?
Yep. So we all left about 4 years ago now, and we were all there together doing a variety of different degrees whilst we were there.
Tell me about the Rope Walk pub.
Oh, it was a local pub where all the students used to live, so we used to go down there and take part once a week or so to varying degrees of success. But I think why we particularly chose it is because whilst we were there once, Pete went 25 questions in geography on the trot, got them all right. So he's now our Places Pete over here.
He's the Places Pete. OK, well, gosh, I hope we're doing geography. I don't know. I don't see the subjects before we play, so I've got no idea. But good luck anyway against the Eggheads. Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. I know you know that. Rope Walkers, the Eggheads, are doing rather well at the moment. They've won the last 6, so that means £7,000 is on the table for you to win. Shall we get on with it?
Let's go for it.
OK, the first head-to-head battle is on the subject of sport. Is that good?
Tom? Going up? Yeah.
Tom?
Me against, yeah.
OK, investment analyst from London. Against which Egghead?
Sorry to do it to you, but it'll be Judith, I think.
Judith on sport. They're coming, you've had a period of no sport, and now
I know.
it's
now
constant
I'm getting
again.
them back again.
Yeah.
I'd escaped it for a while.
OK, well, let's see how you do. Tom from Rope Walkers, Judith from the Eggheads on sport. And just to ensure there's no conferring, would you please go to our question room? I gather you were an extra in a Captain America film, Tom.
Yeah, that's correct. Back when I was at university, I needed to earn a bit of money, so I started looking around on the internet and came across an extras website. So ended up getting it was obviously a pretty minor role, but in quite a big film. So I was a World War II soldier, all dressed up, returning from a prison of war camp, and managed to film a couple of scenes with Tommy Lee Jones as well.
Wow, so, and did you see yourself in the film or not?
Oh, no, I actually completely ignored all my my directions and tried to get on camera as much as I could, but sadly they cut me out entirely. A bit of a shame. OK, well, you can do that again here if you like. It's Sport Tom against Judith, and would you like to go first or second? I'll go first, please. So here we go. In a rugby union team, the 2 wingers usually wear which numbered shirts? 1 and 3, 6 and 7, or 11 and 14? I sadly retired from rugby at the end of last year, and I was a winger myself, so it's 11 and 14. What number did you wear? 11. I was a left wing. 11 and 14 is quite right. Judith, in football, the penalty spot is how many yards from the goal line? Is it 6 yards? 12 yards or 18 yards?
I think I'm going to make terrible food. I'm sure that's really basic, elementary football question. From the penalty spot, I think it's 12 yards.
12 yards is correct. Tom, which country won tennis's Davis Cup for the first time in 2014? France, Switzerland or the Czech Republic? I'm not 100% certain on that. I'm trying to think of the top tennis players within each of those countries. France have got Gael Monfils and Jo Wilfried Tsonga. Switzerland, I think Thomas Berdych is Swiss. And, oh, Wawrinka as well. I think Wawrinka might have won that in 2014. I've got an inkling that it's Switzerland, so I'll go with Switzerland. You're good. Switzerland is right.
Well done.
And Federer.
Oh,
That
of
was
course,
good, wasn't
Fed,
it?
That's poor from me
How
not
could
to...
you forget him?
Awful, sorry.
Yeah, Federer. Of course, Judith just says Federer.
As often as possible.
You just say Federer all the time.
I
don't you?
do.
OK, your question, Judith. Which of these cricketers played over 100 Test matches for Australia? Dennis Lillee, Mike Hussey or Steve Waugh?
Oh, they all could have, couldn't they? They play more cricket nowadays, don't they, than they did in the past. I mean, they're always getting injured and exhausted and burning out. So I'm going to say Steve Waugh, because I think he's the most recent.
Is she right, Tom?
I'm not sure. I think that's where I would have gone as well, though.
Yeah, Steve Waugh is right. Well done, Judith. You're playing well on sport. I think you've put together a bit of a run, haven't you?
No.
No, you're right. You haven't. Sorry. Your third question, Tom. In the Olympic sport of modern pentathlon, competitors are introduced to the horses they ride in the equestrian event. How long before they have to ride them in competition? 20 minutes, 2 days, or 2 months? In the Olympic sport of modern pentathlon, competitors are introduced to the horses they ride in the equestrian event. How long before they have to ride them in competition?
I'll be honest, I know quite a lot about the Olympics, but I don't know anything about the modern pentathlon. I think 2 months may give them a little bit too much time to prepare. Actually, no, I think I'm going to take that back. Given that they're doing quite a lot of jumps, I think from a safety perspective, you want to know the horse relatively well. So 20 minutes seems too short. 2 days even seems a bit too short. I'm really indecisive between 2 days and 2 months here. 2 days.
No, and it's not 2 months either.
Oh, really? Oh, at least
really is.
at least
20
I was
minutes.
way off. That's
yeah,
fine.
you didn't think that was possible, but I guess Judith, you know about equestrianism.
No, but I imagined it was like the triathlon, where they just grab a bike and get on it.
Yeah, I think
I
it's pretty
imagine
much
they
is,
grab a
really.
horse and get on it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
why do they need 20 minutes? Perhaps they have to put their jodhpurs on.
I don't know why they need that, but yes, you're right. It's the shortest possible time. Judith, this for the round. The game of pelota or highlight is said to have originated in which region of Spain? Is it Galicia, Basque Country, or Andalusia?
I think it's the Basque country.
And why do you think that?
Jayalai sounds such a funny language, and I think Basque is probably one of those very obscure languages.
Basque is absolutely right, Judith. Well done. So you've won through on sport. You are doing pretty well at the moment on sport, you know. Sorry, Tom. You've been knocked out by our egghead over here, who has these flashes during the sports round sometimes. So come back to us and we'll play on. So, interesting start. The rope walkers have lost a brain from the final round. Sorry, Tom, what happened there?
Ah, just my luck. Judith comes into form when I'm playing her at sport.
Equestrianism is a tricky one. Actually, that's one of your sports, Judith, isn't it?
Yes, but it's not really a riding competition, that, is it?
No. See how long our sports conversations last around here. Or,
I mean, I missed Federer as a Swiss tennis player, so I'm not...
yeah, of course, Judith was very hot
covered
on
myself
that.
in glory.
Yeah. But you're starting to build up a bit of a record in sport now, Judith. That's one in a row now.
Exactly.
The next subject is arts and books. So which rope walker would like this?
Go on, Fergus. Yeah. We're taking on TK Dave? Yeah.
Who's that going to be?
Fergus.
Fergus, OK. Fergus against which egghead? Can't be Judith.
Taking on Tremendous Knowledge Dave.
All right, so Fergus from the rope walkers against Tremendous Knowledge Dave from the eggheads. And to ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions. So arts and books, Fergus, would you like to go first or second?
I think I'll go first, please.
And here we go with your question. What sort of animal is the title character in the 1906 novel White Fang? Is that a wolf dog, mountain lion, or brown bear?
Oof. I've not heard of this book, actually. I wouldn't really associate fangs with a bear. So I guess I'm going to go between wolf dog and mountain lion. I think I'll say wolf dog. It sounds more like the kind of description you'd have for a wolf.
Yeah, wolf dog's right.
Yes.
Dave, you know anything about this book? I don't.
Just written by Jack London, that's all I know about it.
And it's the story of a wolf dog.
Yeah.
I guess, with a white fang.
Yeah.
OK. Dave, your question. Which Eastern European country features in the title of one of Ian Fleming's James Bond novels? Latvia, Russia, or Ukraine?
Well, I hope From Russia with Love is what I'm thinking of in terms of that, but Russia is my answer.
Russia is correct. Back to you, Fergus. What is the surname of the main characters in the 1952 Mary Norton book, The Borrowers? Is it shoe, bench, or clock?
I remember reading it when I was a kid, and well, at first my instinct was to say shoe, but now I'm thinking, was it clock? I don't. Oh, I'm doubting myself. I'm going to say shoe just as that was my first instinct, but.
No, it is clock. It's clock, so you've got 1 out of 2. Back to Dave. Your second question. The Sylvia Plath poem Daddy includes the famous line, every woman adores a what? Fascist, masochist, or anarchist?
I don't know the poem, so I'm going to have to try and work it out. Every woman adores a... I'm not going to go fascist. With Daddy. It could be anarchist, but I'll go masochist.
Any eggheads know?
I think it's fascist.
Yeah, it's every woman adores a fascist.
I would not have gone for that last of the 3 choices I would have gone for.
I do, yes, this is not a... I mean, it says famous line. It's not famous... It's not that famous, is it?
Well, I knew it.
Yeah, well... All right, so you're equal after 2 questions. Fergus, who wrote the historical adventure novel for children entitled The Eagle of the Ninth, set in Roman Britain? Is that Geoffrey Trees, Rosemary Sutcliffe, or Cynthia Harnett?
Oh, I wish I'd had Dave's questions, to be honest. These children's books ones have stumped me a bit. I'm going to say Geoffrey Trees.
Is he right, Dave?
I would have gone Rosemary Sutcliffe, but that's me.
Yep, Rosemary Sutcliffe is the answer. So you're stuck on 1. Let's see if Dave gets his place in the final. 40 Years On, written in 1968, was the first stage play by which writer? Simon Gray, Alan Bennett, or Tom Stoppard?
I don't believe it's Simon Gray. I don't believe it's Tom Stoppard. I think that is Alan Bennett.
40 Years On was the first stage play by Alan Bennett. You're right, Dave. Well done. You're in the final. Sorry, Fergus, you've been knocked out there on Answer Books by the man with a tremendous knowledge. Both of you, please come back to the studio. OK, 2 brains down, Tom. Any thoughts on where we go from here?
I think we're just relying on the next 2 to win their rounds. I think I've got a lot of faith in Places Pete, that's for sure, so we're hoping for
Yeah,
geography.
Places Pete, we need some geography. Let's see what happens next. So rope walkers have lost 2 brains from the final. The eggheads are still intact, and it's history now. Who would like history?
I'll take history.
Sam.
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 Which egghead do you want to take on, Sam?
Any suggestions?
Chris?
I'd say probably go Chris.
Okay.
I'd like to take Chris on, please.
OK. I think he likes his history, especially a bit of warfare, don't you?
Bit of warfare, bit of mayhem, yeah.
Yeah, anything with a train in it.
Yeah, that as well.
Yep. Sam from the rope walkers against Chris from the eggheads on history, especially if there are trains. And to ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions. Do you have a favourite period of history, Sam?
No, not one in particular. I tended to do a bit of all sorts at university, so I could get lucky, I could get really unlucky. I'm sure there's some common areas I don't know well, but then there's other areas I do know.
So you had a history degree, did you?
Yeah, I've got an undergraduate degree in history.
Oh, right. And what areas, what periods did you do?
A bit of atomic history, some Cold War, but then some Vikings, nuclear history, MI5 history, so quite broad.
Atomic history? I haven't heard of that. What's that? That's basically bombs, is it?
Yeah, well, how nuclear energy has changed the life of humans over time, basically. So from inventing the X-ray all the way through to the creation of the bomb, dropping it on Japan, and how it affects diplomacy up until today.
OK, well, I've got a good feeling about this round, eh? Sounds impressive, doesn't he, Chris?
Yeah, certainly does.
Honestly, a history degree should serve you well. Would you like to go first or second, Sam?
First, please.
So here we go. Good luck. Which of these historical figures was assassinated in Sarajevo in 1914? Is that Franz Ferdinand, Abraham Lincoln, or Malcolm X?
It's Franz Ferdinand.
It is Franz Ferdinand. Well done. Abraham Lincoln would have been a stretch, I think. Chris, Which of these monarchs had 9 children? Elizabeth I, Lady Jane Grey, or Victoria?
Well, Elizabeth I died childless, which is why we got James I and VI. Lady Jane Grey didn't have any children, so it's Queen Victoria.
It is indeed Queen Victoria. Well done. Back to you, Sam. In 1971, East Pakistan adopted what name? Nepal, Bangladesh, or Afghanistan?
East Pakistan. It's not Nepal. I've been there, and they haven't changed the name. Afghanistan, no, too far away. I think it's Bangladesh. That's my instinct. East Pakistan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Bangladesh.
It is Bangladesh. Well done. Chris, who founded the Mughal dynasty in India in the early 16th century? Is it Babur, Attila the Hun, or Genghis Khan?
That was Babur.
Babur is correct. Why was it not Attila the Hun or Genghis Khan?
Well, Genghis Khan was the Mongol horde, far to the north of India, and Attila the Hun was way, way, way before that.
OK, back to you, Sam. Haakon VII, born in 1872, was king of which country for over 50 years? And Haakon is spelled Haakon. Sweden, Finland, or Norway? Haakon VII, born in 1872, was king of which country for over 50 years? Haakon VII.
In my head, I said Scandinavian, and you've given me 3 Scandinavian options, which is very unfair. Please, can you spell it again, Jeremy?
Haakon. Haakon.
My gut says Sweden, just because I've heard of Swedish kings before. What was the year, sorry,
1872 was born.
Sweden's jumping out at me, I'm gonna go for Sweden.
Is it Sweden, Chris?
No, it's Norway.
Norway is the answer. So, Chris, again, you have a chance to take it on the 3rd question. This is happening quite a lot. In what year did Nigeria achieve independence from Britain? 1955, 1960, or 1965?
Well, the first one was Ghana. Only had Gold Coast in 56. 65 was a bit late. 1960.
If it's 1960, you're through to the final. The answer is 1960. Well done, Chris. You did well there against our history graduate.
Yeah.
Sam, sorry you've been knocked out by Chris. On a question about Nigeria. Both of you please come back. We'll play on. So as it stands, the rope walkers have lost 3 brains from the final round, whilst the Eggheads have not lost any. The next subject is music. So which of you would like this?
Do you want to take it? I'm really bad, I think, but I'm also quite bad at general knowledge. What do you think?
Up to you guys. It's between you two, so one of you want to go for it?
I'll take it. I think Baz is better at general knowledge, so we should say.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Right, sacrifice.
Who have we chosen?
So we've chosen Pete to go for it.
OK, Pete against which Egghead?
Which Egghead are we choosing? It's a toss-up. Take on Kevin, go on.
I'll take on Kevin.
All right. OK, a little rumble, a little murmur goes round. Peter from the Rope Walkers, Kevin from the Eggheads, please take your positions now. So I know we wanted geography for you, Pete.
It's a tragedy.
Places Pete, yeah, and you had to now be musical Pete or...
Pied Peter.
The Pied Peter. Brilliant. That's from Tom.
Pied Peter.
I get a bit of stick for that.
Do you like music or not?
I think I've been used as a sacrificial lamb here to save Baz for the general knowledge at the end.
OK. All right, well, let's see how you go. Would you like to go first or second, Pete?
I'll go first, please.
Here we go. The 2014 edition of the charity supergroup Band-Aid was known by what name? Was it Band-Aid 20, Band-Aid 30, or Band-Aid 40?
Can you just repeat the first bit of that question, please?
The 2014 edition of the charity supergroup Band-Aid was known by what name?
It's probably something I should know. I don't think how long it's been going for. My gut feeling is Band-Aid 20, so that's what I'm going to go for.
Do you remember when the first Band-Aid was?
I couldn't give you that year, no.
It was actually 85. I think I'm right, 85, not...
Band-Aid was 84 and Live Aid was 85.
Ah, Live Aid was 80. OK, that's the reason for my confusion, yeah. So it was 84, so it's Band-Aid 30.
Pete, you're not the sacrificial lamb yet, though. Kevin, your question. In 2014, which British act achieved a 4th consecutive US #1 album? One Direction, Adele, or Jessie J?
Well, I don't think Adele particularly did anything in 2014. I don't think it would be Jessie J, but I can imagine, I mean, One Direction have had about that many albums. So One Direction.
One Direction is correct. Back to you, Pete. Pied Peter. When the children are asleep, If I Loved You, and When I Marry Mr. Snow are songs from which musical? Oklahoma, Showboat, or Carousel?
I haven't watched many musicals, and I certainly haven't watched any of those, so... Can you repeat the song names, in case I can get any clues?
When the Children Are Asleep, If I Loved You, and When I Marry Mr. Snow are songs from which musical?
I'm going to go for Oklahoma.
It's not the answer. Carousel is the answer, which has the famous You'll Never Walk Alone.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah, that makes you nervous, Dave.
Yeah, oh dear. Yeah.
Kevin, the composer Georges Bizet, best remembered for his opera Carmen, lived during which century? 17th, 18th, or 19th?
Okay, I won't hang about with it. It's 19th.
You know what year he was born?
I think it was 1838. Again, he was quite a short-lived character. He died in 1875. So he was only in his late 30s when he died.
Amazing. When you say again, you're referring to a game on another occasion where Toulouse-Lautrec died young, is that right?
Yes, that's true. Sorry, yes, I was.
No, you can. No, that's fine. I just your memory is amazing because that's a game on another day, and I'm thinking, yeah, we were having that conversation about artists dying young. So Bizet didn't live very long.
No.
Poor old George. That's the end of the round, Peter. I'm afraid there's no way back. 2 wrong answers, kind of fatal, but not the end of the team.
No.
The team will fight on, albeit with 1 player. Come back to us. We'll play the final round. Okay, challengers, this is what we have been playing towards. It is time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So, Tom, Sam, Peter and Fergus, from the Rope Walkers, I'm afraid I need to ask you to leave the studio. So, Will, you are playing to win the Rope Walkers £7,000. Barry, Chris, Judith, Kevin and Dave, you're playing for something that money can't buy, the Eggheads reputation. And you're on a bit of a roll at the moment, so see if you can keep it going. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge. You can confer. I'm sorry that doesn't help you. Will, the question is your one brain able to defeat the Eggheads 5? We've seen it happen. Would you like to go first or second?
I think I'll follow the theme of the rest of my team and go first, please, Jeremy.
And here we go with your first question. Italy completely surrounds which of these countries? Liechtenstein, Andorra, or San Marino?
So the one that immediately jumps out to me is San Marino. I don't think it's Liechtenstein. I'm not confident it's Andorra, so I'll go with San Marino.
San Marino is correct. Eggheads, what shape is fusilli pasta? Is it bow tie, spiral, or shell?
Spiral, isn't it?
Spiral.
Yeah, fusilli.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I think we've all eaten a lot of pasta, some of us more than others, and I think we all agree that it's spiral.
It is indeed spiral. Well done. OK, back to you, Will. 2004 saw the relocation of which institution to London's Paternoster Square from its previous home in Threadneedle Street? Is this the London Stock Exchange, Smithfield Market, or the British Library?
Could you repeat the question for me, please?
2004 saw the relocation of which institution to London's Paternoster Square from its previous home in Threadneedle Street?
So, I don't think it's Smithfield Market. I've been to Threadneedle Street, but none of them are jumping out at me. I actually think I'll go with the British Library.
OK. Are you in finance yourself or not?
No.
Is it the British Library?
London Stock Exchange.
Stock Exchange is the answer.
I should have known
Stock
that one.
Exchange.
So, Eggheads, your chance to take the lead. The Battle of the Five Armies is the third installment in which of these film franchises? The Hobbit, The Planet of the Apes, or The Hunger Games?
The Hobbit.
Definitely The Hobbit.
Well, I just saw this film quite recently, and I have to say, although I enjoyed the first two in the franchise very much, I didn't particularly enjoy the third because there wasn't too much of a plot in it, but it was in The Hobbit.
The Hobbit is correct. Well done, Eggs. So they've taken the lead, and it means, Will, you've got to get this one right to stay in. The English novelist and biographer A.N. Wilson is a renowned expert on which subject? Is it history, technology, or astronomy?
Sorry, could you repeat the question for me again?
The English novelist and biographer A.N. Wilson is a renowned expert on which subject?
I'm trying to think if I don't think it's history. Technology is definitely not jumping out at me. So it's a difficult one. I think it's between astronomy and history. I'll take some advice and go with the one that I originally didn't think it was, so I'll go with history.
I'm glad you did. It is history. He's got a book on Victoria out. Has anyone read it?
Not
Really
yet.
liked it. Apparently it's great. Yeah.
Oh, it is supposed to be very good, and he's written on more recent history as well. He does quite substantial books on different periods.
So history is correct. Now you got to hope they get this one wrong. If they get it right, the contest is over. The Murder of Gonzago, or The Mousetrap, as it is also called, features as a play within which Shakespeare play? Is that Hamlet, Othello, or Macbeth?
Everyone agreed on Hamlet?
Hamlet, yeah. Hamlet
plays
Yes.
the thing which I'll catch the conscience of the king. Yeah.
As Chris just said, the play is the king wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. It's in Hamlet.
What's the quote?
The play is the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
Right. And you're all agreed.
Yes, it mirrors the death of Claudius, Hamlet's father, when the king's in the garden and he has poison poured into his ear, and that's why the king jumps up in alarm when he sees it being played on the stage.
The answer is Hamlet. So we say congratulations, Eggheads, you have won. It's just the certainty that's so annoying, isn't it? There's no doubt about it. I thought someone might say Othello, there might be confusions and fighting.
To be honest with you, I was quietly unconfident, so didn't stand much of a chance on my own.
Well, I'm sorry you were left alone, but I know they'll apologise properly afterwards, but I think they did their best, and it's just Eggheads are in this rather regal form. Speaking of kings, just sweeping everyone aside at the moment.
Very ruthless.
Very ruthless, and they put a smiling face on it too. That almost makes it worse. The Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them, and their winning streak continues. I'm afraid it means you won't be going home with these £7,000, so the money rolls over to our next show. Building up quite a jackpot here, Eggheads, aren't we? Well done. Who will beat you, I wonder? Join us next time to see if a new team of challengers can do it. Will they have the brains to defeat the Eggheads? £8,000 says they won't. Till then, goodbye.
Now, dare I say, Mary Berry proves she's a game bird as she cooks up a pleasant pheasant dish, one of her absolute favourites, next tonight. Then it's time for the final. It's all to play for in Great British Menu here at 7:30 on BBC Two.